Help me pronounce your last name. Can you just tell us who you are again, André? I don't want to. Yeah, go for it, André.
My last name is Dimitrijevic, and if it helps anybody, I've been told that it rhymes with give me three of each.
André, give me three of each, Dimitrijevic. And John Garroch, I'm going to say, or is it Garroch? Because that seems to have a bit of a British background to it, John. Is that right?
Yes, it is. It's Garroch. It's a Scottish background.
Amazing individuals who are just putting countless hours into theater, and I'm sensing it's due to their passion for the arts and theater groups. And why don't we start with André first? André, how long have you been in theater here in Ottawa, and why exactly are you involved in theater here in Ottawa, and what's your overall thoughts of the future of theater in Ottawa?
I guess I started getting involved in theater around the time I was retiring from. My last job was with the federal government, prior to that with other governments. And as I like to think, working for the government is very close to doing theater.
Recording here via Zoom technologies, and I have the luxury of seeing André and John. So when André paused, when he said theater is a lot like working for the government, if you could see John's face and mine, we were sweating in stress of what the answer was going to be with that analogy, of course. So thank you for keeping the Morning Special Blend here with Dennis Sakalauskas on CKCU FM.com as politically correct, no pun intended, as possible, André. But that's so very true and great points. John, you also, I think, have extensive experiences in theater. Similar to André, similar question for you. What got you interested in theater? And what's your favorite part about being involved in such a very active performing arts?
Well, I got involved in theatre back in the 1990s in Scotland at a place called RAF Lossiemouth, the Buccaneer Theatre Club.
I think in many ways we all are acting on a daily basis, performing, thinking of things we're going to say, and as you mentioned, certainly moving around extensively from Scotland to Saudi Arabia here to Canada. Certainly, I think speaking either many different languages or working with different accents and just trying to ultimately blend in with the communities, I would argue is a various form of acting in many ways, that is for sure. Great stuff. We are here at André Dimitrijevic. Hope I did that. Or each of me. What was the phrase again?
Give me three of each.
Give me three of each. Yeah, exactly. And John Garroch. John, I actually lived in Scotland for a year and a half. So a great place, great country. We have two fine individuals who have given countless hours to the community. And I understand, and I'm being somewhat diplomatic here because I should say I know that you're working on a great piece of work in virtual production called Whodunnit, to be aired through ITR Theater online via Zoom technology. If you go to itrtheater.com, itrtheatere.com, you will see the play running on Thursday, April 8th, Friday, April 9th, Saturday, April 10th, and Sunday, April the 11th. Maybe we'll start with John, actually, who's the technical director, behind the scenes for sure, but just working a lot of electrical strings and working his magic to make the show come to fruition. John, tell us about it. What's going on with the virtual Zoom technologies of trying to take live theater from the stage and bringing it to people's homes?
Well, to be honest, I think the hardest part of doing this is getting individuals used to the technology. It's we all have smartphones and computers and things like that, but we don't always get involved in meetings, Skype, Zoom, all these different platforms. So the challenge really is there to get individuals used to the technology and fine-tuning the cameras, fine-tuning the audio so we get some nice sound and some nice video.
Amazing. We have André and John here, director and technical director of the virtual play Whodunnit. Basically a murder mystery, we'll call it. Only 45 to 50 minutes in length. What a great show. Great opportunity to have some fun, see local actors, local producers, local director, local technical directors working behind the scenes to support an amazing Heart and Stroke Foundation, by the way. 100% of proceeds all go to the Heart and Stroke Foundation. April 8th, 9th, 10th, and the 11th through itrtheater.com. André, as the director of the play, how different has it been for you guiding the actors, guiding the wardrobe, costumes, lighting, and guiding those working in those functions as well through the virtual world out of your house, as opposed to the more traditional route, which we hope to get back to soon, stage and theater in person.
It makes it quite interesting and very tough. You know, when you're rehearsing on stage, when you're dealing with actors on stage, actors feed off one another all the time because they're standing next to one another. In this case, you have so many boxes and they're individually there, and it has been important to make sure that actors stay in their role even when they're on screen, but they're not necessarily actively doing anything. It's also difficult to have a conversation where people talk over
The sheer luxury of having Canadians or even those maybe outside of Canada participate in the play is outstanding, and the fact that there is one actor, even all the way from Newfoundland, that extra half an hour, 1 hour and a half difference, of course. Outstanding stuff. It's super fascinating. John, maybe a question for you as we're wrapping things up here. What's your thoughts then, John? Why for theater companies are they continuing then and persistent to have a live show? Why not record the show, in your opinion, and basically run it by YouTube or run it by the website of the Performing Arts Theater Company? What makes it so special to keep the theme and spirit of live theater alive even in the virtual world?
Well, Dennis, that is definitely a very good question, because theatre is live and we have to keep it live. And if we don't, the passions will drop away. This is not TV, this is not movie, this is not Hollywood. It's live theatre. So there's always potential for something to go wrong, something to change, something to fix. There's that challenge, there's that sense of fun that's involved, the unknown circumstance that could happen.
It's always fresh in theater. It's not 17 takes to get to some point. It's always fresh.
It's so true, Andre. It really is. And even maybe, if it's okay to say, the odd mistake here and there makes live theater that much even more special. When there is the odd error here and there, of course, keeping it live and keeping it special. Well, I'd like to say a huge thank you to both of you. It's amazing the hours and commitment you put into not only the virtual Whodunnit running April 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, of course, but just the commitment you have to theater in general. Andre,